Hello there everybody and welcome to my brand new Let's Play, which is going to be Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. Now, I've heard all over the internet before, a million times, and I'll probably end up hearing it again. I've heard that Ninja Gaiden 3 was one of the worst Ninja Gaiden games we've ever had. And I do agree with you. But here's the thing. Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge is a much better game than Ninja Gaiden 3 was. Ninja Gaiden 3 was vanilla, like, big time. And I mean hard vanilla. But this one definitely changed some things. I'm not exactly too sure on everything it changed, but when it comes across to my brain, I'll try my best to remember it. This, so far, is my third time recording this video. So let's hope that this time this actually goes well, shall we? Because I actually want to play this game. But the great Let's Play gods, well, they deemed that I should not be playing this game. And I tell them to fuck off. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. It's good having you here. I do cuss a lot, and I do say a lot of stupid things. So keep that in mind. So, what mode are we going to be playing today? We're going to be playing on normal, because it'll make my life a little bit easier. But we have all these great modes unlocked. If you pick hard mode or anything above that, you cannot change your difficulty during the game, only normal and hero. So on hero mode, we have fight enemies and save the day. That's pretty much just your basic easy mode. Normal, of course, which is just normal. Take katana in hand as a true ninja. Hard, those who walk the path of a true ninja and must first suffer. I cannot speak already. And Master Ninja. The path for those with unyielding steel and soul. Now there is Ultimate Ninja, but I think you have to beat Master to unlock that. Unless you can, I think you can buy it online, from what I remember. From the store, you can buy both Master and I don't know if maybe you can buy Hard too. I don't know. But anyway, I have played this game a few times and trying to go through my own Master Ninja run. I did before. I don't know how well that ended up. Who knows? Probably just like 2, where I get to like a certain point and I just get screwed over and die, and that's it. So, without me rambling on too far, let's go ahead and get straight into the game, and hopefully this time everything goes well. And I'll see you guys after our very first cutscene. But, before we start with that, I'm going to start with the default settings. Let's see. Yeah, if you do not use the base data, then ninja skills and karma will be reset to their default values. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with default settings to basically make it like I'd never touched it before. So, see you guys after this.
Call me Ishigami.
Ministry of Defense. External Affairs.
A special agency within the ministry. Think of us like you ninja.
And?
She will provide you with the details.
Mizuki McLeod, Japan Air Self-Defense Force Special Security Unit. Flight Officer, First Class. Yesterday, an unknown group launched a terrorist attack in London. They've taken control of the area around the Prime Minister's residence.
So why me? What do you need my help for?
Oh no. We don't need your help. You need ours. Mizuki, show him the video.
This was just sent to us by the government.
Bring us Ryu Hayabusa! It's you they want. Ryu Hayabusa.
Hayabusa, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
All civilians have been evacuated. Any armed soldiers down there are fair game.
The hostages are in the Prime Minister's residence, right?
Yes. I'll monitor the situation and guide you from the air. Be careful, Hayabusa.
Okay, so let's get right into the meat of the action here. So, Ninja Gaiden 3, Razor's Edge, works in the same way that the previous titles work. Most importantly, the same way that Ninja Gaiden 2 basically worked, but with some differences aside. So, first let's get into the basics. You have block, which is just L1, you can block any attacks, except for those attacks that glow red. We'll get into that when we get into that in just a minute. And then, of course, you have square for light attacks, or triangle for heavier attacks. And triangle doesn't really have any sort of combos. They pretty much end up like combo finishers for the most part. So let's try evading. So while holding block, just hit up on the left stick, or while moving, just hit up, and then you can do an evade, which that you'll most likely see me do a lot of. So this thing always introduces itself really early on for whatever reason. This is the new type of UT in this game called the Bloody Rage. To get that to go, you have to do either obliteration techniques or do steel on bone attacks. And I know I'm going through this pretty quickly, so let me just go ahead and explain real quick what steel on bone is before I get too far. So steel on bone is whenever an enemy does this sort of like red glowing attack that's pretty much unblockable, what you want to do is you want to evade or just move out of the way, go straight into a triangle attack, and then you slice through them. Now, since I have a really weak katana, well, not really weak, I mean, because I'm chopping dudes to pieces. Since I have a low-level katana, I can only attack like 2 guys at once. Same thing goes for the Bloody Rage. The Bloody Rage acts as a much faster, I don't know if it's technically stronger, probably, version of the UT. UT stands for Ultimate Technique, and OT stands for Obliteration Technique. UT, Ultimate Technique, is when you hold down triangle, just like so. You can hold it down like once. And I don't know if I can do it yet or not. Looks like I can't. Sometimes you can do it twice, but in this version of the game, you can only do it once right now. And what that does is what you saw earlier, while I just start chopping through guys with iframes like crazy.
Something's there.
Which, of course, most likely you're going to be seeing me use that quite a bit. Probably not as much as I did in the previous titles, but I will be using it whenever I get the chance. I'll mostly be using Bloody Rage more so than the actual UT on its own. So OT is Obliteration Technique. It comes from Ninja Gaiden 2. Essentially what that is, whenever an enemy has their limbs missing, you press triangle, and then you'll do pretty much like an insta-kill. They only have to miss one limb, and that's it. They only need like one limb missing, and you pretty much can do the whole OT. So, returning from Ninja Gaiden 1, we have Scarabs. Now you saw that one look kind of silver if you caught it with your eye. They're supposed to be gold, but since I'm playing with a previous account, they're going to be silver. I still get the same amount of karma points as I would if they were gold regardless, so that doesn't matter. I'm just gonna collect it as I see them. I'm not really going for 100% or anything like that. So, like I said, they returned from Ninja Gaiden 1, but they had no use. No, they had usage. Yeah, if you collect a certain amount, you can use them at the store to get specific items. So, in this game, they're used mostly for getting points that we're going to use to spend in our store to get upgrades or buy weapons. So this is another unique attack that's in the game called the Falcon Dive. And you saw that we did the Raptor. Well, we invaded first, which you can do in air. And you'll see that sometimes we're going to have to do that. So that's going to be I wouldn't say a big part of the game, but it definitely will happen. And yeah, the Raptor is basically when you press triangle when you land in front of the guy and then you slice him up. So typically, to get Bloody Rage to go, you know, start activating pretty much, Steel on Bone is a very good way to do it, but most of the time, not most of the time, but sometimes you can essentially get it to where even if you do like an OT, it'll start to activate, or just start chopping through enemies just normally, eventually the game will be like, okay, you can start doing it. Also, you can still get an OT even though an enemy's head is chopped off. So even if they're technically dead, you can still do it. So as of right now, they want me to show off the Nimpo, which I'll get into that in just a second once I waste a few guys. So the Nimpo is returning from, of course, the original Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2 as well. You just press triangle and circle at the same time. And then you can activate a Flurry of Fire. And you can attack, I think, 2 enemies at once with it. not just one. Because I think in Ninja Gaiden 1 it was one guy, and I think in 2 it became like 2. But since we got new enemies to take care, well, not really new enemies, these are the same old enemies. Just, we got rocket guys. I'm going to go ahead and whip out the Nimpo. You can move it around or just let it do it on its own. You can have it auto-target, or just, if you move the stick, left stick, you can pretty much target who you want to hit. So it's better for strategies, but mostly I just let it do its thing because it typically goes for like the strongest guy in the room, from what I've seen of it. Yeah, you saw like that guy was pretty much technically dead, so I even still got a chance to do an OT, which is nice. These guys get destroyed by UT like quickly. Of course, you get like 100 points for killing them with a UT, which I think is still beneficial. Because killing them regardless gets you like 100, looks like a combo kill. Alright, so this is our checkpoint system. It's not technically a save system. It is, and it isn't at the same time. It does create a save slot, but there will be a way we can actually have a save slot as well, and I'll get into that when we get to that point. The reason why I'm talking through this so damn fast is because I've done this 3 times now, and I'm just getting tired of saying the same thing over and over again. So hopefully this time, the game will actually work with me. I wish. Unfortunately, Ninja Gaiden 3 suffers from the God of War syndrome, where you only keep a set amount of abilities from previous titles, rather than actually keeping all the abilities. But then again, God of War was one of those where it's like, oh, you keep your abilities in the beginning, but then somehow bullshit happens, you lose them, there you go. Or Kratos learns new moves like off screen just because, you know, I guess he's a martial artist, he's just gonna go train, I guess. Ryu, it makes sense, but I don't know. I mean, losing the freaking Azun drop, like, come on, dude. You've had that since, like, the first game. Hell, I think, like, when you start 2, I think you technically get it in the beginning. I don't really remember offhand, but I swear you could. Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. But, of course, yeah, actually in 2, you have to reacquire the Nimpo as well, which is strange. Nimpo doesn't necessarily mean the fire ability. The fire ability is just called the Art of the Inferno. Nimpo is the magic to use it. And you see that bar underneath my white bar up there? The white bar is my health, and that yellow bar right there that's glowing up, whenever I kill guys or chop through them, that's my Nimpo bar. When you get it full charged, it'll start glowing just like so, and then you can use it to essentially murder dudes in like one shot, sometimes, or just do massive amounts of damage. And not to mention, you do regain health back with it. And you regain permanent health too. There's permanent and there's temporary health. And I'll get into that in just a second. That's what I call them, at least. So temporary health is, whenever I lose health, you'll see like a gray bar. And that's how much health I can temporarily gain back after a fight. Don't know if I lost any health in this one, with that specific fight. I don't think. I mean, I did, but I used Nimpo to get so much back, but I don't think I lost any at the end. So if you take too much damage, then you start to lose permanent health. Now, granted, it's not technically permanent. You can get it back with a save whenever you go to the checkpoint system. So whenever, you know, a carrier raven comes up and gives you the good suck, then you can eventually get your health back to full, which is nice. But you'd only do that at the checkpoints that they give you. Or you can regain it by using Nimpo. So like my health is basically at full right now. If I use Nimpo right now, I can get some of that permanent health I'm missing back. Or, there's another way. You can go to the menu here, by hitting select, and go to your maximum health and upgrade your maximum health that way, and you can pretty much gain everything back. So it's really nice. Alright, let's take a look here. So, I'm not going to talk about this screen just yet, but I want to show you guys what I was talking about. You see that red that's right there on my health bar, on that white that's, you know, taking up a little bit of that chunk? That's my permanent health that I was talking about. The only way to get that back is either through Nimpo right now, or use a checkpoint system that will basically save me. That was surprising. I didn't know I got that. Okay, so they want me to use, I think it's R3. Yeah, it's R3. Okay, what the fuck is going on? I don't even think this game even knows. Would you just die, for God's sake? Yeah, see, I still got the points for it. It's like 300 points for the obliteration technique. Which I think is just insane. Since I'm playing on normal, it does make these things kind of a little easier to get through, though. Fortunately. Also, we don't have the Flying Swallow yet. We have to actually buy the upgrade. Also, with Razor's Edge version, you have to buy the weapons via the upgrade menu. You can't just find them throughout. Because I think in like Ninja Gaiden 3's like vanilla, you had to find the weapons throughout the levels instead of actually just getting them through store options. Okay, so this freaking boss fight. This boss fight sucks, asshole. I hate this one with a passion. I really do. So my best thing to say with this is just, you know, watch yourself with his attack, with his rocket. I don't know exactly how to... Well, I guess I do show you. Yeah, it starts to glow. That's when you know. So here's one thing I'm going to do a little bit differently than what I've been doing in my previous recordings of this. I'm going to attack every leg with a little bit of damage. I'm not going to, like, completely knock it off, because he starts to gain new attacks whenever you start knocking off, like, the first or second or so leg. I'm just going to keep dodging, let him do his thing. The bullets make it even more annoying to fight this guy with, because they still do damage. If you stay between these legs, typically he can't really hit you with a fire, for the most part. At least he shouldn't be able to. Yeah, this is working out pretty well. Yeah, and instantly he went right for that, so... Just as I suspected, and now he's going to get a new attack, which is that crap right there. I hate that damn thing. Granted, you can pretty much tell when it's about to happen, but still, I have a hard time doing that, so... Screw me, pretty much. Alright, so now he's down on all... Well, now he's down on 2s. You can press triangle or square to take these legs off. If you press triangle, it'll go into like a quick time event, just like that, a fast quick time event. And all you need to do is just press triangle. But if you press square, you're going to have to mash square just a bit to finish it off. It's weird, I don't get it, but that's just how the game works. So don't ask me, I'm not the developer here. They made that themselves. So that takes care of the first boss, and luckily for us, he opens up the way so we can get going. Also, I love how, like, almost every fight, you typically knock off blood off your sword, which we didn't really get any blood on that sword. I mean, yeah, we kind of did with the first guys, but not with the tank, honestly. Watch out right here, because there's going to be a guy spawning on fire, so just dodge that. Come over here, UT instantly, and just wait for these guys to start spawning if they ever will. If they ever will. Okay, they're there. Usually if your camera starts to pan out a little bit, that's when you can tell when the enemy's ready to spawn. So, you saw earlier we fought a guy with a shield, right? Well, yeah, these are the more... I don't know what they call them. But essentially you have the... you know, white camo outfit guys, and you got the black camo. So we're just going to call them, well, I would say black and white soldiers, but I know how people are going to react to that. They're like, oh, I don't think so. I don't know what they're called, okay? I know they have, I'm sure they have names, but I'm not that kind of guy. Let's just call them white, let's just call them black armored, and then, you know, you got your white dudes, your white armored dudes, pretty much. The white camo guys. So... essentially, the black armor guys are a little harder to take down. They have a lot more shielding to them. And you saw earlier that one of them had a shield. At least I think one of them did. Essentially, knocking out the shield is not a problem. You can get behind him and attack him that way instead of having to worry about it completely. Or you can do what I sometimes do on accident and just pretty much just barrel your way through it if you wanted to, if you really wanted to. But I wouldn't recommend doing it, but it can work. Of course, you can also Nimpo charge them. Or you can just UT, which typically knocks it off instantly. These guys take about 2 hits during a UT to fully kill. As with the white camo guys, they only take 1 hit. So essentially, whenever you UT one of these guys, if they're by themselves, you're going to get the full UT. And I don't think there's really any way to kind of target enemies during the UT charge. I think it just goes on its own. Sometimes I hold the stick just in case to see if it actually will work. I feel like it works sometimes, but not all the time. Yeah, these wall climbing sections are not going to go anywhere, folks. They're going to be here for quite a while. Also, circles to throw your shurikens and stuff. Pretty much just keep your combo going. That's relatively all it's really good for. Or just knock a guy out, you know, a little bit. Just kind of give a guy a hard time with some of these. Sometimes I miss. Yeah, as you can see there, I miss it, so it happens. It happens to the best of us. Oh, goddamn, that's a good counter right there. I don't remember which one that was. Yeah, also, whenever you do evasions, too, you can actually, like, kick people's, like, feet underneath them and sort of trip them up, too, which is really nice. Yeah, you can see, like, these combos just go freaking ham. Now, I'm not too certain, but I think these guys can grab you, technically. Okay, so making a return from Ninja Gaiden 2 are crystal skulls, but instead of just being random collectibles, this time they're collectibles and they are trials, or basically challenges. So essentially, the Crystal Skull lights the way to the land of the dead to all who seek undying combat. Challenge the skull with the strength of your conviction. I should make this clear. I am not going for all scarabs, and I'm not going for all skulls. This is just a normal run. It's going to beat the game normally. Nothing too hectic, nothing too big, okay? So don't ask. Just deal with it as is. I'm sorry, folks. It just happens. Also, if you hit If you hit X and square at the same time, you can do that guillotine jump thing. Which should go into like a guillotine throw, but I guess not. At least that's what I always called it, guillotine, because there was a move like a Ninja Gaiden 1 called guillotine throw, which I think it was in Ninja Gaiden 1. Essentially what it did, like, you just press X and square, I think, or something like that, and then you essentially throw a guy. So with this one, you just leap like that, and you can do like a combo. Not really a combo, but you can do like a windmill attack right after. So that's essentially all it's going to be useful for now. That's all it's used for now. As you can see, OT attacks do sort of like get my Nimpo charge to go faster. So it's always nice to just kind of use OTs to your advantage. Also, these challenges typically go through like waves of enemies. So right now we have one wave, and then we'll get like a small checkpoint. Not really a checkpoint, because there is no checkpoints in these things. You go the full mile. There will be like a rank scene that'll come up, like you saw, like that. So that thing will come up, and then you get your health back a little bit, and then the next wave will spawn. And this one will have dogs, so just deal with them as is. Yeah, one hit with a UT and they're dead, and they're not that tough. But they're annoying to deal with regardless of, well, if you don't have a UT. Also, the X and square thing at the same time typically makes you jump toward an enemy directly, so it pretty much just automatically goes towards somebody. I can't really control too much. I'm just going to use UT here because we have black armored enemies, and we also have the dogs too, which I feel like this thing just obliterates the dogs, which you can totally see right there. Just decimates them, no doubt. I think, I don't know if they changed it in this game or not. I feel like they might have. But back in like previous titles, especially like Ninja Gaiden 1, if you jump, and then after you land, you instantly after you land, you hold down the triangle button, you can essentially make your UT charge go by quicker, so that way you can get it faster. Okay, so here's wave 3. These are fiends. These guys return from basically, you know, Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2. I feel like they're more prominent in Ninja Gaiden 2 than they were in 1. Like, I feel like they were there more in 1, but I feel like they were a little stronger and just niftier and craftier little bastards in 2, in my opinion. But then again, a lot of people say that 2 was the harder one, and at least the hardest of all the Ninja Gaidens. I can see that, but I still feel like Ninja Gaiden 1 is probably harder, in my opinion, just for how archaic it can be. I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm not saying like it's completely archaic. I'm just saying like compared to like 2 feels more fluid, you know? That's what I'm getting at. Also, keep in mind the fiends can be killed by OTs as well. You can chop off their limbs and essentially get an OT, or just do steel on bone. They do sometimes do those attacks, so that does happen. But yeah, sometimes you're gonna have to let go of the UT if you're charging it up, just to kind of get these guys out of your face, because they can be pricks. They really totally can. Also, this area is gonna have a boss fight. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to complete it or not. I doubt it. I mean, it's freaking Dwarku again this time. So I'm not playing Ninja Gaiden 1. I can't essentially do everything that made Ninja Gaiden 1 easy. So, yeah, and there's that bullshit. Of course he would do that. Yeah, Dwarku's a pain in the ass, and you kind of just have to be patient with him, honestly. So, for those that are new to Ninja Gaiden 3, you probably won't know anything about this guy, and I wouldn't blame you. Honestly, let's just say this, you don't need to worry. You really don't. He was a big deal in Ninja Gaiden 1, but that was, honestly, I feel like about it. Honestly, I'm doing better than I did the first time I fought him. One thing I could do is just upgrade my health. Yeah, see, sometimes he'll basically drop, I wouldn't say he'll drop his guard, but he'll make it easier for you to get some hits in. You know what, I'll do that. Sometimes in boss fights I'll do that, I'll just upgrade my health, and then well, I can't upgrade that yet. Now let's get the Flying Swallow, because to the Flying Swallow, and then what's this, parry enemy? Yes, I'll take that as well. I'll get a parry just because never know when you're gonna need it, right? Yeah, for that one, just keep dodging. That one's probably one of the harder ones, especially with the ground slam thing and the grab attack that he does and that fire shit. Ugh. Yeah, usually he leaves himself open just like that, so pretty much I feel like when it comes to Dwarku, just wait for your opening and then just go in and just strike, just like so. If, of course, you're going to be fighting him. Which you can pretty much just avoid all this regardless if you wanted to. Okay, I'm just trying to concentrate a bit here, because honestly, this is a bit scary. I mean, I do want... I got way too cocky with that. Of course, I do get to keep my my maximum health, though. Which I kind of think I wasted on that. But just to show it off, just show you guys the fact that you can do that, there you go. Now, be careful, though. You have limited amounts of maximum health upgrades that you can make. So, if, let's say you got into a really tough boss fight and you need a healing bad, if you don't have a specific ability that you get later, then you're going to be kind of screwed and you have to learn how to fight it naturally. Which, for the challenges, I feel like the challenges are probably harder to learn than just the normal set stuff. So really, you don't have to worry about them until maybe like a New Game Plus or something, if you even can do New Game Plus in this game. I don't really remember. Maybe. I make the comparison every single time, but this room reminds me of Splatterhouse. One of the rooms in Splatterhouse for 2010. One of the rooms where you first get like a weapon that you can pick up and you just cover through those enemies, and you have to, I think, wait for the heads on the fireplace to laugh, and then you can activate a doorway to get out. I don't know why it reminds me. It's just like the narrow spacing. I think would probably be my best bet to say why it does. That's just my opinion, though. Could you just get away? There we go. That's what I was aiming for, but for some reason Rita was not doing it. Alright, we can't go back that way. Oh. Oh, we have to kick open the door? Fuck you, then. Watch out right here, because that guy will try to get you. Come out here, and are they gonna spawn? No. Also, this game is relatively dark. And then again, that could just be freaking Elgato doing a thing. Also, if you have it at this point, save up your Nimpo. There's gonna be a boss fight coming up really soon. Save up your Nimpo. Trust me. Don't waste it on these guys. Honestly, you can get hit by these guys because there's a checkpoint. Which I think in vanilla, didn't they actually not have that? They might have had a checkpoint system, but I don't think it healed you or something. I don't remember. It's... Vanilla was weird. Let's just say that much. That takes care of that. Let me see here real quick. You know what? I'm actually going to end off the video here, guys. I basically ended off the video here last time as well. So I relatively get to this part in about 30 minutes in. So just for video's sake, I'm going to end it here, and then I will see you guys hopefully in another video if it actually worked. Please, Elgato, work with me on this one, please. So, without further ado, I'll see you all next time. So take care, everybody.